Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a special guest here in the studio, so we're going to really enjoy today's show. Let's look at our weather first, brought to us by one of our favorite sponsors. I mean, they're all special and all, but old Drew Pollard, he's such a good outdoorsman and such a giving kind of person, just a great small business, and we're proud to have him on as sponsor. Gulf Coast Air Conditioning up there in Southport. High today is going to be 69, low 56. Water temperature is 67 degrees. It's been steady like that. Our river readings, take a look at these river readings, folks. So again, they just didn't go down like we were hoping they would be. The Apalachicola is still at 18 foot. And the Choctawhatchee at Caryville is still it's right at 14, a little bit below 14, 13.5. We got a little bit of a drop to it, but more rain coming like this, so it's going to just stay on up there. We've had some, it's springtime. We're going to get this stormy weather coming in like this, so just we've got to bear with it and roll with the flow. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today's Wednesday, March the 23rd. Good strong tides. Low tide 12:15 this morning. And a high tide, 137 after lunch. And yes, the wind is still in double digits for the month of March, coming out of southwest at about 15. So just be careful out there if you're in open water. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with our special guest. Welcome back, and welcome to our special guest this morning. Been on quite a few times before, Captain Mitch Coleman from Mexico Beach. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to see you.
It's great to have you back. And of course, the first thing, we talk about Mexico Beach was in the bullseye of Hurricane Michael, and it was devastating. And you got so many stories there. I've told the story about you and your wife, but we'll get to that later. But anyway, how's everything going down there?
Everything's coming back real nice. I mean, it's obviously not as quickly as what we'd like to see it, but it's coming back. And I'll tell you, the morning I walked out after that hurricane, I walked out across Highway 98, and there was half the highway was laying in my neighbor's yard. I just started crying. I couldn't believe it. I thought that this little place is gone. It'll never come back. But it did, and it's coming back real nicely.
Well, quickly, we got to tell that story with you and your wife in the house and all the hits, and you think you just had built a new home, and it was sort of hurricane-proof.
Built a new home to Cat 5 specs, and it's not supposed to, it's supposed to manage a hurricane. Well, it did, but my neighbor's house didn't. And when his house came apart, a part of his house the size of a truck, a full-size truck, hit my upstairs.
Can you imagine?
I'm talking about 30 feet in the air.
The house coming up there hitting Mitch's house.
Another house 30 feet in the air. Yeah. And of course, that tore the roof off my porch, which, they had to come in with a front end loader to get that house or that part of his house out of my yard. Yeah. You couldn't pull it out.
And there's so many stories like that.
Oh, anyway, there are.
We're going. That was behind us, and we're pressing on, rebuilding.
Pressing on. Time to go back.
I rode through there last month, and it's looking a lot better.
It does. I mean, the beach, the dunes restoration is I've been so happy with that.
And
it looks better. Palm trees all along. Seagrasses. That we can keep spring breakers from walking through the seagrass while they grow back. Yeah. I want to put up a sign down there that says, "Caution, snakes."
Yeah.
Don't walk through there.
Somebody go looking for them. Oh, there's snakes out here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got so much to talk about today, and now you're the tournament director of the MBARA.
I've taken on that. Well, I didn't. I should say I'm the chief cat herder.
You've been drafted?
I've been drafted. Well, I replacing Ron Childs is quite a chore. I mean, Ron did all of it. He did the magazine, he did the T-shirts, he ran the tournament. I mean, and he did it really, really well. Mm-hmm. And to try to step in behind him is something that's quite a challenge.
Big shoes to fill.
I said, yes, I will do this, but I need a committee to help me do it. And so I have got Cheshire Trawick. Cheshire's out of South Georgia. Tournament fisherman. He grew up in Mexico Beach. He's fished it all his life. Kevin Lanier, Captain Kevin Lanier. You met Kevin. He has KC Sport Fishing. Benita Thompson, who's a very active real estate agent in Mexico Beach. She's also one heck of a tournament fisherman. She is a cobia fishing person, and she's going to bring all of that knowledge to our committee. And then our weighmaster this year is Captain Charlene Burke. Charlene has About Fun charters in St. Joe. Mm-hmm. She's also a marine biologist.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, nobody's going to slip something in. don't even try. Don't even try. So we have a committee together that, all of us talked before. We made a lot of changes. Mm-hmm. This tournament has historically been an August tournament. Mm-hmm. Last weekend in August, weekend before Labor Day. The reason for that, when it started, was that was a weekend we needed people. Yeah. We needed heads and beds. So they kind of worked out of the agreement there to do it that way. And then also, Mexico Beach Marina had their offshore classic in July. Mm-hmm. So, for that reasons, we always had the tournament in August. Mm-hmm. Well, the marina, they just didn't have the room to have the tournament there anymore, the offshore classic. Right. So that tournament went, and we started looking at it, and I talked to a lot of fishermen that had fished this tournament over the years, and everybody said, well, if it's okay with our tourist development people, why don't we move it?
In July.
And there we did. We talked to our tourist development council, and they said, we don't care what weekend you have it, as long as it's not the 4th of July.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to do it the last weekend
of July? Weekend in July. That's going to be our new date.
That is such a good time for.
Well, it is.
It really.
I look in my logs, and I can go back for 15 years in logs. My best king fishing, biggest kings I've caught, the last 2 weeks of July, the first week or so of August.
There you go.
The water temperature's perfect.
Yeah.
You've got bait everywhere. The fish are active. The weather is, and the key thing is the weather. We've had to fight weather the last few years.
I know.
It's been tough.
I know.
So,
yeah.
And then the other thing, school's not back in.
That's true. That's good.
Last year, when we had our captain's party last year, St. Joe had a home football game.
Oh, no.
That's kind of a challenge. That's tough, and to get people to show up for both things, and then, family activities. And we want to try to get the family back into the fishing tournaments.
Good.
And so that's the other thing, and we'll talk more about their format and how we changed it around. I think we're going to get a lot of the small boats, and
I like that. I've been looking at it. Yeah.
I really do. And again, this was you put a bunch of heads together and start thinking about stuff. You come up with a lot better ideas than if one person's trying to do it all.
Yeah.
So we really think we're going to have a very competitive tournament this year. We've in the past, we had the pro division and the rec division. Mm-hmm. Well, the pro division only got rid of me and 4 or 5 others. It really, and my boat's a 22-foot boat. I'm not that competitive, really.
You got some big competition.
Big competition. Well, everybody and their brother's got a big boat these days.
I know. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Captain Mitch Coleman. Okay, welcome back. Here with Captain Mitch Coleman from Mexico Beach at Mexico Beach Artificial Reef Association. They've sort of set the tone as far as artificial reefs, and they all sort of been a role model for so many other organizations doing it now.
Yes, and again, we've got great leadership. Bob and Carol Cox have been, it always works great when you got a couple, because it takes so much time. Yeah. If your wife's not as involved with it, then there's problems. We've also got this year, Brian and Kimberly Higdon are on our board. Brian's our vice president, Kimberly's our treasurer. It's nice to bring some fresh blood in.
They're good fishermen too.
They're divers.
Yeah.
They're spear fishermen, and let me tell you what,
I've seen their pictures.
They go down there, they shoot some big fish, and Brian and Kimberly are going to bring a lot of fresh energy to the board, and Kimberly has an accounting degree, so she's helping with our get their books.
Good.
We raise a lot of money.
I know you do.
Really raise a lot of money, but you go out there and you fish these artificial reefs and you see how good our fishing is, that was money well spent.
Yes, man. And that's where this, this big tournament and all, that's where the money goes to put those reefs in. Now, let's look at this picture here. This cool picture. This was last year, 2021, but who are these couple guys here?
Well, the two on the outside, that's my first mate on the other side over there, but the guy in the middle on his knees, because he's so much taller than us, that is Tennessee Chuck McGibbon. And you came out and filmed the show, Tennessee Chuck. Tennessee Chuck is a legend, and I tell you, everybody in Mexico Beach, they either know him or they say they know him. You know, if they don't, they say they do know, they think they know him. But he's a great guy. He made a huge donation to the Reef Association a couple of years ago, and you know, actually, they have a reef out there just outside the car body permit area. It's called McKibbenville. Well, you know, and you filmed the show, we put it out there, and we were out there December. Went out and Christmas Eve. We went through McKibbenville. We caught flounder. We caught porgies. We got a lot of ruby lips, a lot of grunts and bait are showing up, and you know that's what 9 months that it's been down. So this year, I really think that McKibbenville, and there's another reef patch that's just to the northwest of that. That's a fair large, you know, pretty good number of pieces that are close together. I think the cobia are going to find that. I think that's going to be a good place to look for cobia this season.
And Tennessee Chuck, true to his a legend, and he'll be there at the weigh-in, and just bring the kids just to meet him, get your picture taken.
You just want to get your picture taken with Tennessee Chuck.
I'm serious.
You know, he is, and you can't believe how many people, and most of them are young people, that he fishes that canal just about every day. He goes down there, and he catches flounder all the time, but he will adopt a kid. He'll find some kid down there that looks like they need to be adopted. And that kid may be 25 years old, but if Chuck thinks he needs coaching, he will work him through.
He's from that area south of Nashville and Franklin area, and I said with family
farm.
And a great story. His vacation down here, just loved it and just didn't go back home.
Didn't go back home.
Great story. We got to move on. How about our shirts? How's the shirts this year?
The shirt. Well, our T-shirts this year. That's what they call it. Galapagos blue. Looks to me like King green. It's a real pretty shirt. You can see, we haven't got them out yet. We're still finishing up. We just got our advertising campaign done for our magazine. Our full page advertisers will be on the back of the shirt. That's from previous advertisers. That's not all this year's. Some of them are this year's. But we're working on that, getting the T-shirts. They should be out by the 1st of May when everybody's looking for short sleeve T-shirts. And magazine, our gold magazine, should be out middle of April, I'm thinking. And so people get those. We publish 5,000 magazines, and those things are like, they're collector's items.
They're well done.
They're well done, and that's another thing. Kimberly Higdon this year's taking care of the magazine for us, and she's had a background in doing that in Nashville. So I'm expecting to see a nice, clean, crisp product.
Okay, now let's talk about the lineup right here, 2022. Captain's Party at the
Mexico Beach Boat Ramp. You know, everybody should know Mexico Beach Public Ramp. We had our Captain's Party there last year. It worked out real well. It's plenty of space. You know, there's a lot of space there. Everybody, we've got a pavilion that's going to be there this year. Public bathrooms. So everything's going to be right there. The Captain's Party on July 29th. We'll start. I hope I have our electronic registration up very shortly. And you can pre-register.
Okay, so
if you pre-register, you get a very cool performance shirt from the marina.
Oh, cool.
But the big thing this year, everybody, we seem to have lost some of the small boats over the years, because if you've been to Mexico Beach recently, you see so many beautiful big boats. Everybody's got a big old boat. And so the small boaters felt like they couldn't compete because they're all fishing, the big boats are all in rec division. So this year we kind of did what SKA has done, and in some of their tournaments. 26-foot boat, and this is on your registration. When you buy your registration, you get your little sticker decal. It'll have your length of your boat on there.
Okay.
And that's what we're going to go by. So if you're 26 feet or over, you fish the open division. The open division will have the largest king, which is sponsored by the Mexico Beach Marina. And they're also going to do, it's kind of a marriage of the Offshore Classic.
Okay.
We call it in the pelagic purse. If you're in the open division, you can fish for king, wahoo, and mahi. Okay. You can weigh in 2 of those 3 for an aggregate weight. The largest aggregate weight of those 2 of those 3 fish wins the pelagic purse, which is $2,500. Okay. And that's sponsored by the Yamaha Marine.
Okay.
So you got 2 ways to win there. And then also we've added a ladies division, which is sponsored by KC Sport Fishing, Kevin Lanier, and a kids division, which Todd Krause from South Georgia, the Salt Lick Sausage folks. He's sponsoring the kids division. So, and if the kids and the ladies can fish the rec division or the open division, depends on the size boat that they're having to fish on. So an open boat can fish for the mahi, wahoo, and king. They can also pursue the ladies' prize and the kids' prizes. And the kids are paying first, second, third. King.
Oh, I love that part there
Yeah.
about the kids and all.
And now our recreational division are boats under 26 feet. So that means mostly single engine boats is what they'll have. And
16 years.
That's right.
As the day of the tournament.
Day of the tournament,
Okay.
you got to be less than 16 years old to fish the kids division.
Okay.
Ladies division, you got to be 16 or older
Okay.
to fish in the ladies division. So that'll cover that. And then the recreational division, again, this year, I think it's just going to be a lot more competitive because the boats are all going to be similar size. And you'll have first through fifth this year for king. So that's really nice because what we've been able to do is we've gotten sponsors for our prize money. Jay Rish, the Gulf Coast Real Estate Group, is sponsoring First Prize King, which
Okay.
I didn't mention earlier. The First Prize King is $3,000 cash, but it also, you get a reef name for you.
Oh, cool.
We've got a lot of reefs out there like just MB and a number.
Yeah.
Well, after the tournament, you're $3,000, and then because that reef naming is about $2,500 to get a reef name.
That's cool.
So it's you're looking at first prize being really worth about $5,500.
Yeah. That's cool.
Second prize in the recreational is sponsored by Simrad. They're doing. They're going to give us, and I can't even tell you the model number because it's not been released.
Okay.
It's going to be so new. It's a 9-inch Simrad with the 3-in-1 transducer, and it's about a $3,000 transducer.
Wow.
So second prize is pretty sporty.
pretty strong.
Then you got a third prize, $1,000, sponsored by the Mexico Beach Liquor Store and Market. Fourth is $500, and fifth is $300, I think.
Okay.
$200. Get your money back.
Let's take our last break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a quick look at our fishing times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. First time is 4:08 a.m. to 6:08, and this evening from 4:37 to 6:37. Okay, we're going to talk
Good
about
afternoon bite.
great afternoon bite. Have the Spanish started coming in yet?
They not yet, but they could be. I mean, I say that, and it could be this afternoon.
I know.
I mean, we went 3 days ago, and we trolled up and down the beach just a little bit, just to kind of see what the temperatures were. It was 66, 67. Didn't see any activity yet, but I mean, it could be any day.
And that's something, a lot of people get in pontoon boats now. That's something that's part of the tournament. You're going to have a little Spanish?
We've always had biggest Spanish prize, but it was $500. And this year in the recreational division, that's only the rec division, $1,500 for the largest Spanish mackerel. So, I mean, you
Cool.
bring your pontoon boat, your bass boat, whatever. I mean, you can fish our tournament because for $200, it's $25 if you want to enter the kids division, another $25 if you want to enter the ladies, and that's not per kid. That's just for enter your boat. How many kids you got doesn't matter. But you can take what I'm thinking this year. Mom and Dad, their 21-foot boat. They enter the rec division. They enter the ladies division. They enter the kids division. And they all fish together and they have fun. It's a
promise
fun
you,
thing.
in these upcoming tournaments, you're going to see a development of pontoon boat. In fact, I may start even having a category, pontoon boat winner or something like that. We're going to see more and more of that because of the family.
You've got to get the families involved.
Yeah.
And one thing, I thought about doing it this year, but I had too much going on. I think next year I want to start what we call the tater tot tournament.
Okay.
And what that'll be is the tater tots are under 6.
Okay.
And if I think it'd pretty much be a bait fishing.
Yeah.
Take them to the canal, let them catch the most pinfish, the biggest pinfish, things like that. Again, you got to get kids involved.
You're so right. And that's one of my biggest pushes here on Panhandle Outdoors. Speaking of the canal, let's take a look at the Mexico Beach Canal.
It's looking really good.
We're looking at a situation where, first of all, let's go back to the boat ramp. Okay, there's Tyndall on the left, folks. You're coming in on Highway 98, coming into Mexico Beach. And there's a boat ramp, just a great boat ramp. So this is where
lots of parking,
plenty of parking. So this is be the headquarters.
This will be our headquarters.
Okay.
Captain's party, weigh in, everything's gonna be right there.
Okay. So tell us. Okay, let's look at how's the canal doing. Right? Is everything good on the canal?
It really is. Right now they've got some dredging underway, so you do have to kind of work around it. And this is not our normal Mexico Beach City employees dredging the mouth of the canal.
Okay.
We actually have got a full sweep of the canal. It's part of the FEMA cleanup project,
Okay.
and they're doing an entire sweep of the canal, and the canal's in great shape.
Okay, and then
You know, it's in
what's
really
the
good
latest
shape.
word on the pier coming in?
Well, actually, I just read this morning they had a release. They got their land permit they needed because they're going to go out a little deeper water, so they had to lease. I guess you got to lease the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
From the government. Well, they got that permit, and they expect to have all the rest of the permits by summer, is what they posted this morning. So I think that's exciting. And then the jetty, the extension of our jetties, that'll help with our, number one, we won't have our mouth of canal sanding up as much. And then you know how people like to fish off jetties.
Oh, I know it. We love it.
I think it's a great idea.
And we got about a minute left. This weekend, if you're going to fish Mexico Beach, what kind of fishing would you do?
Sheephead.
Sheephead.
The sheepshead bite is real good. All the Bell Shoals numbers from the Weimar, the lumber ship wreck, Benita's husband, John Thompson's Reef out there. There were 13 pieces of structure that they put on his little patch reef in Bell Shoals, and it's a great little spot. Sheephead bite is good. Flounder, the flounder bite, you just go low and slow. Bump that bait slow and low and drift. You don't have to be stopped when you're flounder. You might just a very slow drift because you just work it along the bottom. Yeah. But those are the two I would go after this weekend. And then again, look for birds. If birds are diving on the water, there's probably some Spanish mackerel right there.
Have you got any reports on the pompano yet, on the surf fishing?
There's been, I think it's steady. Again, with this weather, the way the weather's been up and down the last 2 weeks, and the wind's been, today's gonna be tough to cast into it. I mean, it's gonna be 20 knot wind out there out of the southeast, and it's pretty sporty. Try to cast into that. So maybe if the weather settle down, the pompano bite will get going.
Okay.
Everything will start happening.
All right.
It's this time of year.
All right. Well, appreciate you coming over.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be promoting the tournament and trying to get folks in there, and we'll certainly try to be there. And we may.
I hope you're there. I hope you fish it, and I'd love to have you there for the, bring your camera. And
we will. We always do. We'll put it on the calendar. And we'll get to see Tennessee Chuck. And, and all of y'all. Thanks, Mitch, so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, buddy. Y'all do something good today for your fellow man. Enjoy our beautiful outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.